Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. I have not produced videos for like 2 days. I'm feeling quite unwell. Even now speaking is a bit of a problem, so if you see me fumbling kidogo, bear with me. William Samoei Ruto finally made the long-awaited cabinet reshuffle. Many people thought that he would fire a few cabinet secretaries here and there, but William Ruto is walking a very tight rope. He's looking at 2027, and so he could not try to fire any cabinet minister and so cabinet secretary, and so what he decided is to swap them here and there. I have always told you that what is rejected in White House is rejected in Kenya, because I will show you that there was Joe Biden's hidden hand in the reshuffling that William Ruto conducted. For those who have followed our channel for some time, I have told you that we are being governed from White House. Our president is just but a channel. He will be instructed, he's taking instructions and implementing them. For sometimes we have said that our country is a puppet of the West. But on further scrutiny, I'm realizing that we are more than a puppet. We are a slave of the West. We are a slave of the USA. And what they pronounce at White House will be implemented. We could talk about the Haiti thing that is being discussed now, even in the international media like CNN and Al Jazeera and all this. But let us stick to the cabinet reshuffling and how the hidden hand of Biden found itself in the cabinet reshuffle. And you will look at, we want to look at just four of the changes, because one, Moses Kuria was removed from the lucrative department of trade and investment, and he was taken to public service. Then Alfred Mutua was demoted from the lucrative Ministry of Foreign Affairs to a lesser one, which is tourism. Alice Wahome was moved from the Water Ministry into the Lands Ministry. And I think for Alice, it is a bit of a promotion. But I want us to start with Moses Kuria. You all know that Moses Kuria was the Trades and Investment Cabinet Secretary. And when he started by traveling far and wide. He was in Uganda, Dubai, and he was very happy sharing the photos and videos with Kenyans. But the rain started beating Moses Kuria when American delegation of trade and investment visited Kenya. And this delegation was led by none other than Catherine Tai. And they refused to meet Moses Kuria. It was very funny because this delegation was not only meeting the Kenyan partner, but they were meeting the other trade delegation, trade partners from the East Africa, Uganda, Tanzania, Congo, Rwanda, and all that. And it was very painful that all the other trade ministers from the East African community was allowed to attend a meeting with an American delegation. But Moses Kuria, who was at the center, who was the host, was rejected. And experts started questioning what might have gone wrong. And people thought that because of the loose mouth, because, you know, Moses Kuria is one person who speaks his mind and he does not control his tongue. So many people thought that maybe because he was at loggerheads with the media station, with the opposition and all that, he was rejected. Till now, we don't know what happened, because Catherine Tai was put to task to explain what happened. And she simply said that, yes, we have not met Moses Kuria, but if you want to know why we have rejected Moses Kuria, ask the government of Kenya. In other words, ask William Ruto, who was the appointing authority, who appointed Moses Kuria. It didn't end there. When William Ruto was traveling to the US, ostensibly to meet US delegation there, to meet several trade and development partners, he left behind Moses Kuria again. And people are wondering, how is Moses Kuria going to conduct his duties if he cannot travel to meet other trade and development partners. You remember that USA is one of our major trade, investment and development partner. So if Moses Kuria cannot travel to meet such CEOs, like William Ruto said, he was going to meet world technology CEOs of Apple, Amazon and all that, Moses Kuria was not around. And so this might have informed William Ruto's decision to allocate Moses Kuria other roles. Because you cannot be a cabinet secretary who cannot meet partners. How then are you going to undertake your duties? How are you going to perform your duties? Because Moses Kuria was now performing his duties locally. Recently, he was traveling, he moved from one county to the other, opening industrial centers. And in those occasions, he talked about every Kenyan is a shareholder in the Kenya Kwanza government, going against Rigathi Gachagwa's position that this is a shareholding company. In fact, with that, people thought that Moses Kuria was being disrespectful to the deputy president, and some of them called for his sacking. Because even before that, he had really talked to Kenyans in a way, telling them they should dig their own borehole of fuel and stop complaining about the fuel prices. And you know, this was the beginning of the altercation with the Rigathi Gachagua, when Rigathi Gachagua accused him of being reckless, and he told off Rigathi Gachagua of suffering from inferiority complex. So it was becoming ugly, even though they have tried some PR here and there, but the information is that the two are not in agreement in any way, in any position. So people thought that Moses Kuria would be sacked. But William Ruto has sent a coded message. He's not sacking any of his ministers. So what he has done is that Moses Kuria has been removed from his docket to the docket of public service. A lesser position, because when you consider the budgetary allocation in the trade and investment ministry, it is huge. But Moses Kuria has to, swallow humble pie, because he has been rejected by the international community. And so William Ruto could not afford to sack him, but to give him other roles. But Moses Kuria will also shine, because he's a man who speaks his mind and all that. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you are rejected in White House, you are rejected in Kenya. For Mudavadi and Alfred Mutua, it goes without saying that the Kenya Kwanza team has always tried to woo the Kamba votes. But it is not a walk in the park. One person who was given that role was the deputy president. He has always gone to Kambani, talked ill about Kalonzo Musyoka, told the Kamba leaders and voters that they made a wrong decision by staying in Azimio. But this has not gone well with the leaders and the electorates. In fact, recently, they decided to team up and they told off Rigathi Gachagua to respect Kalonzo Musyoka. Just take a look.
We are not happy when somebody comes here more than 30 minutes. The person you're speaking about is His Excellency Kalonzo. 30 minutes tuliwekwa kwa mazishi, more than 45 minutes ikiongelewa maneno ya mtu moja. Wajamani, enda waambie huyu pia ni mtoto wetu. Huyu ni mtoto wetu, na mtu akija huku tu ampatia heshima.
Ukikuja Ukambani, pea Wakamba heshima. Usitukane Kalonzo. Kwa sababu akianza kuongea Kalonzo, akiendelea Kalonzo, akimaliza Kalonzo. Na sisi tunasema, this is our father. If you don't respect him.
With this, it tells you that Alfred Mutua is inconsequential. Even if you remove him, you swap him, you sack him, because he was there as an epitome of giving back to a community that did not vote for Kenya Kwanza. But while he's there, the Kenya Kwanza team does not see him beneficial. He's not doing enough to give them the Kamba votes. And William Ruto is looking at 2027. He has decided to take the cap of Foreign Affairs Ministry, added it to none other than Mudavadi, who is the Prime Cabinet Secretary. This has been happening against the chagrin of the Deputy President, because there's been there's a tug of war between the Deputy President and the Prime Minister. The deputy president feels that Musalia Mudavadi is given unnecessary attention, yet he didn't bring any votes. But Musalia Mudavadi is a man who behaves with decorum if you compare him to the deputy president. He's also very loyal. If you look at his history way back from the late President Daniel Toroitich arap Moi, he was very loyal to him. In fact, in 2002, he tried to waver to team up with the LDP, where Raila, Kalonzo Musyoka, and many other leaders were rebelling against KANU. But he later went back and he was appointed a vice president for about 3 months, just a few months into the 2002 general election. If you look at history with Raila Amolo Odinga, when he rejected Raila in 2002, in 2013, they were together with Raila. In 2007, they were together with Raila. 2013, he went and teamed up with Jeremiah Kioni. He left Raila. In 2017, they were back together. So there's a way he endears himself. These leaders just like him in a way. And so Mudavadi is likable even to William Ruto. William Ruto has been sending him to presidential ceremonies. In Nigeria and Zimbabwe, when president-elects there were taking oath of office, it was Musalia that was sent. And people see Ruto as a man who has got a soft spot for Musalia Mudavadi. Now he has added him more roles. That means Musalia Mudavadi will be meeting more delegation from the international community. He will be making a name. Musalia Mudavadi has been added more budgetary allocation, because when you are given another docket that has been added to you, more budgetary allocation, an opportunity even to employ more people in your docket, people from your area. And this is not going to go well with Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi has been putting this brave face that is loyal to the president. There is no problem within Kenya Kwanza, but every signs and symptoms will show you that he's not a happy man. For the second time after having a night meeting in Karen, there was another one in Thika, and they're discussing their own issues because they feel something is definitely wrong. So Mutua demoted, Mudavadi being elevated against the chagrin of DP, a very delicate, affair and undertaking. But all in all, William Ruto has done it. For Alice Wahome, there's been a lot of wrangling in the water department. She was at loggerheads with her PS, Rono, and she accused Rono of trying to micromanage that department, sometimes taking, a planned dam construction from Central to Kambani, and Rono was not listening to her. And the latest development was even worse when Alice Wahome was accused of shielding Twitter, who was, I think, the manager in Athi River Saga, if you can remember. Rono decided to invoke the authority of Mr. Kosgei, and they decided, they were very, very angry, and Twitter just decided to resign. And with this kind of wrangling, when Alice Wahome thought that the team was disrespecting her, William Ruto had no choice but to take her from the water department of the water ministry to lands ministry. I think lands is also another lucrative ministry, and so Wahome has not lost. Look at the budgetary allocation and you will realize that she has also been elevated or just maintained, because both of them are just good, just amazing ministries. It now takes Wahome's effort to shine. And so, ladies and gentlemen, William Ruto has done it, but one thing he could not afford is to sack any of them. If you look at most of the cabinet secretaries in Ruto's department, William Ruto chose to reward politicians. Moses Kuria, Aisha Jumwa, Machogu, Alice Wahome, most of them. Now, if you sack any of them, you risk losing the support base where they come from, because as a politician, they also have a lot of influence from where they come from, and that's why he played this delicate card of just trying to swap them. So that is what it is now. The reaction is going to come later. Some people are happy, others are not very happy. But when White House rejects you, you are rejected in Kenya, and that is the most amazing part of the global world we are.